Let's go ahead and talk about performing the actual title search. The resources for a title search include the Recorder's Department. Today we'll be going to the Apache County Recorder. And also LexisNexis, which is a paid subscription that we'll be visiting today. The sample property that we'll use today for our title search, again, is Apache County, Arizona. The APN is 201-29104C. And the sellers are Thomas and Genevieve Elm and Catherine Elm. Ownership is owned as joint tenants with right of survivorship. Sometimes you may see that as JTWROS, joint tenants with right of survivorship. The first steps we'll take today, we'll go ahead and call the county assessor to see when ownership was actually transferred to the Elms. And in calling them, we found out that in 1985 is when a deed was recorded with the county transferring ownership to the Elms. The fee number was 68586. The county will have a fee number or a document number. Also, the docket and page is docket 475, page 203. With the Recorder's Department, they have a filing system. So depending what method that they use, you will either request your document from the Recorder's Department using your fee number or using the docket and page number. You can go ahead and draft up a letter to the Recorder's Department with that specific information. Normally it's a $1 or $2 fee to request a recorded document, and you'll want to make sure that you also provide a prepaid return envelope so they can go ahead and send that back to you. Once you receive the document, you'll go ahead and review the deed, and then you can begin the title search from there. So for our example, let's go ahead and review the actual document requested. Okay, you'll see here that this is the actual copy of the deed recorded to Thomas and Genevieve Elm, as well as Catherine Elm, that we had requested from the county. Up in the top area here, you'll see the docket and page number 475203. As well as over here in the right hand corner, you'll see the fee number. And these were the two numbers that we had got from the assessor's department to request this document from the recorder. So scrolling down a bit, you'll see this is a special warranty deed. You'll see here just below it says in joint tenancy. This property was originally in the name of Continental Service Corporation. They conveyed ownership to Thomas G. Elm and Genevieve E. Elm, who is his wife, and Catherine E. Elm, at the time a single woman. And this fine print here you'll see not as tenants in common and not as community property, but as joint tenants with right of survivorship. So Thomas and Genevieve Elm and Catherine Elm all own the property as joint tenants with right of survivorship. Scrolling down a little more, you'll see here we have the legal description of the property. Lots 2 and 3, Block 104, Concho Valley, Unit 3. Scrolling down a little further, over here on the left-hand side, you'll see it says this deed is to consummate a recorded agreement. So this here is telling me that originally Continental Services Corporation had some type of sale agreement or mortgage with Thomas and Genevieve Elm for the purchase of these properties. And this actual special warranty deed is letting us know that they had fulfilled that agreement that they had. It's paid in full, and now they issued a deed from Continental Services to the Elms. Over here on the right hand side, it's just stating that there's no transfer tax. There's an exemption code here. Scrolling down a little further, we'll actually see the officer of the company signing the document. And then again here at the very bottom it shows the docket and page number, docket 475, page 203. This way you're able to confirm, that you do have the correct document. Let's go ahead and scroll back up. When you request a document from the county recorder, it'll always be in the top portion of the document. Normally the right side of the document will contain the recorder's stamp of some sort, showing you the date that it was recorded, the time, again the book and page, docket number and page, as well as a fee number or document number. Now that we've reviewed our deed received from the recorders, we're ready to go ahead and start the title search with the Recorder's Department. First thing we're going to do is check the chain of title going back in time. We're going to go ahead and review our results, as well as print, save, or even request additional recorded documents if those documents are not viewable at the recording index. There's different ways of searching at the Recorder's Department. You can search by the seller's name, you can search by the APN number, or you can search by the legal description. Let's go ahead and go to the recording index at Apache County Recorder and go ahead and begin our title search. I've now opened an Internet Explorer window. I'm at google.com, and in their search box here I'm just going to type in Apache County Recorder. And you'll see here the first results that we have. You'll see it's Apache County Recorder. So I'll go ahead and click on this. And it's taken me here to the home page for the Apache County Recorder. You'll see here on the left hand side you can click on Search the Recording Index, and just below that you'll see here that you can conduct searches, but you'll see that it lets you know that you can only go back to the year 1986. So all of our results will be from 1986 to present. So let's go ahead and click on Search the Recording Index. Now you may recall that when we were reviewing the deed in which the Elms took ownership, that deed was recorded in 1985. So if we were to try to locate this document, we would not find that on the online records here, because these records are from 1986 to the present. So this particular document we will not see in our results. The first search I'd like to do is we'll go ahead and search by the owner's names. So we'll go ahead and start our search with Thomas Elm. We'll go ahead and type in his last name and first name. Now you'll always want to make sure that you take the mouse, the cursor, and you're actually clicking on the Execute Search button at the bottom. You don't want to hit Enter on the keyboard, because some of the county websites, they will pull up no results. And you'll always want to make sure that you click on Execute Search with your mouse button at the bottom. I like to make sure that the wildcard search is checked here. And also I like to view as many results as possible on one page, so I'm not scrolling through a lot of different pages. And now I'll go ahead and click on Execute Search. Okay, so in searching for Thomas Elm, our results, Apache County, there's 5 results. You'll see here Thomas Elm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this document so I can obtain more details on it. Here it gives you the reception number, which is the fee number or document number, the date and the time that this was recorded, as well as who this document is referencing. Again here, Thomas G. Elm, who is our seller. And scrolling down further, you'll also get information regarding the legal description as well as the parcel number that this particular document affects. And you'll see here that our parcel number is not listed, as well as our legal description is not listed. So this particular entry will not apply to this particular title search for the property that we are doing our research on. I'll go ahead and go back to our results here. On the left-hand side, go ahead and click Results, and it will display the results. And scrolling down further, you'll see that items 2, 3, and 4 are not referencing Thomas Elm. You'll see that there's Thomas Elmer. So these next 3 entries do not apply to our seller. And then again here, the 5th result that displays, it looks like it's a death certificate for Thomas G. Elm, who is our seller here in this case. So I'll go ahead and click on this document. And what we're seeing here is, again, the reception number, document number, and the date and time that this death certificate here. It tells you how many pages it is as well. And sometimes there is the option to click and view the image. Going down below here, you'll see that our parcel number is referenced. So this is something that we will want to either print this page or request from the recorder's department this actual document if you'd like to have a copy of it in the file. I think just printing the page and having it in the file is good enough. I'll go back to our results, click here on the left-hand side. So we have reviewed all of the search results received for our search on Thomas Elm. We've determined that item number 1 does not apply to the property. We've determined that items 2, 3, and 4 are not for our seller. And we've determined that item 5 here is an actual death certificate for Thomas Elm, who is listed on title as an owner. Scrolling up, we'll go ahead and do a new search. Go ahead and click here on the left-hand side on Search. And you'll want to make sure that if you're not searching again by the name, that you clear the information here in the document name field. If not, if you, for instance, leave Thomas Elm there and put in a parcel number, it's going to try to match results for both of those, for the name and for the document number. So our next search here, we'll go ahead and search for Genevieve Elm. And again, you want to make sure that you're clicking Execute Search down at the bottom with your mouse. And again, our results will display, and we'll go ahead and review those. For Genevieve, we've got 3 results here. And again, it looks like item number 1 is that exact same document that was displayed for Thomas Elm. We'll just go ahead and look at that real quick. And scrolling down, we'll see that the parcel number as well as a legal description does not match our parcel. So we can go ahead and eliminate this search result. And for items 2 and 3, it looks like Catherine Elm and Genevieve Elm, who are both on title. We'll go ahead and click on that document so we can go ahead and review that. Again, here we have the reception number or document number, as well as the date and time, and the document type, which shows us that it's a quitclaim deed. There's 2 pages, and unfortunately the image is not available for view. Scrolling down, we'll see that our particular property is mentioned here, 201-29-104C. And then, of course, the legal description does apply. At this point, we should go ahead and print off this page, or if you'd like to request the document from the county, you do have the reception number, document number here to do that. I'll go ahead and go back to our results. And then I'll go ahead and review item number 3 here, which again does involve Genevieve, and we'll go ahead and see if that involves our property. And yes, it does, 201-29-104C. That's telling us in reception number 2006-005313 is an actual warranty deed consisting of 4 pages. Looks like that's going from Genevieve Elm to AZ Land Research. So in going back to our search results, we've determined that the Elms do have sellable interest in the property. And furthermore, we've determined that the original ownership was taken by Continental Service Corporation, who then deeded the property over to Thomas and Genevieve Elm and Catherine Elm. We've determined that a death certificate was recorded for Thomas Elm, as well as a quitclaim deed being recorded from Catherine Elm to Genevieve Elm, and then later a warranty deed from Genevieve Elm to AZ Land Research. So we have done a title search back 3 owners, Continental Services Corporation, the Elms, and now AZ Land Research. Now we'll go ahead and search with a paid service, LexisNexis.com. Here we'll go ahead and search property and assets, again confirming the ownership. We'll also search court and administration filings. Here you're able to see bankruptcy information, judgment and tax lien information, as well as UCC liens. Let's go ahead and go to LexisNexis.com. Okay, after going to LexisNexis.com and logging into the account, you'll see here at the top these different tabs. And first we'll go ahead and click on the Property and Assets tab. What we'd like to do first is we'll go ahead and select our state that the property is located in. And then we'll go ahead and enter the parcel number here. And then click search down at the bottom. And here you'll see for item number 2, it's just showing that the buyer or the seller at this point was Genevieve Elm, and that title transferred to AZ Land Research. You'll also see that there's no mortgage information here, so there's no outstanding money owes. And then we'll move on at the top here for court and admin filings. And just below that are the different tabs here. We can start with bankruptcies to see if there's any pending bankruptcies for your sellers. And you'll want to go ahead and make sure that you broaden your search here. So you're not only limiting that to the state in which the property is located. Now you'll see that some results displayed here. And again, these are results in all states. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to look at the address here to see if that pertains to your particular seller. In reviewing these results, I see that our seller is not here. The process of elimination again is with the mailing address, or if there's a middle initial. You'll also see here, you'll have a case number as well as the type of bankruptcy it was, and it will let you know if it's been discharged and the date. If you come across your seller as being in the midst of a bankruptcy, you'll have to reevaluate if this is something that will give you clean title to purchase the property. Going up above here, we'll go ahead and do the judgments and tax liens. Again, searching by the last name, first name, and you want to again do all available states and click search below. And again, you'll want to go ahead and review all the results that are displayed. The process of elimination again would be the mailing address as well as a middle initial, or if you have any form of the Social Security number, the last 4 digits or the first combination there. And then you'll see a little bit of information here regarding the type of lien or type of judgment that is against that person. You'll also see if it's a creditor, and you can scroll down. There's a judgment here from a bank. Here's an example of a state tax lien. It tells you the amount, the date, the recording information here, and of course the state of Michigan. What you'll want to do is you'll want to continue reviewing all of these results to see if there is a release of this tax lien. And again, you'll want to confirm that if this tax lien does in fact apply to your seller. There's just some civil judgments here, small claim judgments here. This is stuff that won't tag on to the property. So if there's little judgments here against your seller themselves, as long as it's not something that tags on to the property, you would still be okay to purchase it. You would just need to make sure that any IRS liens, tax liens, stuff like that are resolved prior to purchasing. And again, you just go from page to page, reviewing all the results, seeing if a tax lien or a mechanics lien, anything like that, applies to the property. You'll see here's some dismissals. That's what you want to look for in regards to any federal or tax liens. You'll see a federal release or tax lien release. Here we go, federal tax lien release. So you'll want to make sure that this applies to your original tax lien that you found up at the beginning. And if the federal tax lien is there and then you see this tax lien release, then you're okay. Here's another state tax lien release. And again, broadening the search because you're doing that search in all states. Your sellers may have lived in obviously multiple states, so you want to make sure that you are broadening that search, not to limit them to only the state that they live in, but all states, because if they do have any liens or anything like that in different states where they have previously resided, you want to make sure that you're reviewing those as well. Federal tax lien. So these are the type of things that you're looking for. And again, you need to confirm that they do in fact apply to your particular seller. You can confirm that with social security number or a mailing address, previous mailing address. Even just asking them for the last 4 digits will help you in completing the search. So as you're going through all these results and you've determined that none of these here apply to your particular seller, then at that point your judgment and tax lien search is okay. You want to do the same here with the UCC liens. You just want to do your search for your seller, all available states, and again just go through those one by one again and seeing if any of those apply to your seller. And just remember, if you do find something, just continue looking through because a lot of people do, take care of any liens or anything like that they may have. So there's always the possibility of the release being later down. So again, with the LexisNexis, you can do the court and administration filings here, searching for bankruptcies, judgment and tax liens, as well as UCC liens. And then you can also do a quick property and asset search, just confirming again that they do own the property. Okay, let's go ahead and summarize what we did for our title search. We first contacted the assessor for the exact date in which the Elms took ownership, and we also received those document numbers from them, so we can go ahead and request those, a copy of that recorded deed, which they took ownership, so we could go ahead and review that. We also went to the recording index and checked the chain of title with the Apache County Recorder. We went back as far as we could, and with Apache County that was back till 1986. We reviewed all of our results from that, and we determined that the Elms did have a sellable interest in the property. We determined that one of the owners was deceased, so the recording of his death certificate removed him from title because they all originally owned in joint tenancy with right of survivorship. We also checked the paid services of LexisNexis for any lien information. That pretty much concludes the steps for doing a title search, and we've determined that the property was sellable by the Elms and that we were able to continue on with the purchase of that property. Thank you very much.